I do like having geese. They are very useful to have around. They eat grass, so they sort of keep a lot of the grass cut short. You don't have to do as much grass cutting. And they also feed the grass, and they kind of feed anywhere they go. And when they're in their goosey house, so there's straw and the manure, and I clean that out. That's really good for making manure for the garden and the vegetable garden. So, as well as kind of feeding the grass and places where they walk, they also can make me able to be able to feed my plants and not have to buy any compost or anything. So they produce a lot of stuff. They also they clear away excessive growth from the pond. They do make it a bit difficult to get pond plants started in the first place, but once they are established, the geese do keep them in order. They make sure there's clear patches of water in the ponds. They're pretty good like that. And they chase away intruders. Anyone sneaks in and then they suddenly notice they're being chased by loads of geese, then they probably run out pretty quickly. They are very good, like guard dogs, and also they kind of look sort of scary when you see them. And they are kind of let's say they were affectionate. Some of these we've raised by hand when they were chicks, and even now even despite that, they still bite and chase us. There's a few, particularly the females aren't so bad, but the males are really, really aggressive, particularly in breeding season. But that's kind of okay. Usually I just sort of stay out of their way and they stay out of my way. But they occasionally there's a clash. So they always like to try and sneak up on one of the cats and sort of bite the tail or something. But they are kind of scary. They don't have teeth as such, but they do have like a little serrated jaw, and then when they get a grab, they shake their head, and it kind of does hurt. But usually they don't do that. Usually they're quite well behaved, and they kind of look nice and elegant when they're in the pond. They are sort of very like elegant creatures. They can fly a little bit, and they sort of like to swim around. They dive in the water. They're quite a lot of entertainment. They do make a lot of squawking noises, but they are quite good for land management. They also eat any kind of mouldy fruit that falls off the fruit trees in the orchard, as well, of course, as cutting the grass and feeding the fruit trees. But the mouldy fruit that might contain parasites, diseases which might affect next season's crop, they eat those, so that's kind of good. So they have a lot of uses, as well as just like squawking a lot and looking pretty. So it's kind of always good to have a few geese roaming around.